saving, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, sorry. So what we're talking about is the evolution of order from disorder. Um, and all you're really giving me is that there's enough individual isolated events that are fortuitous that this happens so much that they start accumulating um, into some benefit, which natural selection can
Right.
then act upon. And it seems to me that everything I do a fair amount of engineering myself. I'm an inventor, and I've designed lots of machines. And quite honestly, most of the parts are nearly worthless until you put them together a certain way. And granted, a lot of the nuts and bolts will work on other machines too. But there's always unique parts that just make no sense for anything else in the world. And that's my intuition, my feeling. I'm not saying that I'm right even. I'm just saying that my feeling about that is that it's hard when I take my engineering design experience. It's hard for me to believe that natural selection can that you can have enough events for actual natural selection to combine things, because individual events, if they're beneficial, yes. But multiple events that are not in themselves beneficial, the chances of them happening together in the right combination, it makes the problem of how many stones makes a fireplace.
But the thing is that
pale in
DNA
comparison.
is almost perfectly suited for mutating, and then also at the same time causing those mutations to create new proteins, create new uses. Most of the stuff that is in a cell is stuff that is used and reused in different ways, or you get it through mutation. But one of the big things about evolution versus actually, I don't know what kind of creationism you believe actually happened, but the really useful part of evolution is that it explains the diversity of life as we see today, and also it creates predictions that we can use that are actually useful for us. For example, there's no reason that we should do animal testing, except for the fact that they share a lot of the same genes that we have. You know what I'm saying? Also, a lot of doctors, when a patient comes in and they have a disease that the doctor doesn't know about, they will, I forget what the actual thing is called, but they do a test, and they find out what type of bacteria they're dealing with, what types of traits that it has, and they're able to put that bacteria into the tree of life, basically, and find out what other antibiotics were most effective at with fighting it. So evolution isn't necessarily it's useful in that it makes a prediction that generally comes out to be true. The problem with creationism is that it doesn't give that to us. It doesn't allow us to see what exactly is going to happen. So that's the big thing, is if the creationist is able to show why life acts a certain way, then people will start to embrace it.
Well, a person with a lot of imagination explains variety. I mean, I've invented I don't know how many things because I like inventing things, but I don't like doing the business part of bringing them out and really doing something with them. I just like thinking of solutions to things. I actually have 3 patents pending now, so that I am actually doing something about. But when but like I say, most people are quite surprised at the diversity of subject matters that I base my inventions on, because I'm all over the map on things, and yet there's things about my inventions that I think that that people could identify. Oh, this is the way Scott thinks. I see where, um, um, oh, like I'm working in 0-point energy. Okay, I can see where he solved this, particular approach to this problem in quantum physics. The way he was, like the other day, I was walking across the carpet, and and my socks were getting dirty, and I got to thinking, well, if my socks are getting dirty, my carpet's getting clean, so maybe I could do something with that, make booties that clean my carpet or something. But
Scott, are you sure you're recording them? Because I'm
yes.
not seeing the recording.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I mean when the dialog
Sorry.
box pops up, you have to name it in the three tags.
Well, I don't know. It says stop recording.
No, you don't stop.
I'm just saying it wouldn't say stop unless it's doing it. It's recording.
No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. When it stops recording automatically, dialog box will pop up, and you have to type in a name.
I did that. I did that. I did. The last one was 2. The next one's 3.
Well, I'm not saying it.
Oh, sorry. Well, whatever. We're having fun anyway,
basically,
Curtis.
common design.
Sorry if
common
you
designer.
don't get our thing. Sorry about the interruption. Anyway, well, in all that rambling, what I'm saying is even serial killers have type of thing. And a good example of what you're talking about is chicken embryos have been stimulated to have teeth. You've heard the saying, rare is a hen's tooth. Well, they've done it. They have, and like I say, you can slice that one either way. There might have been I can see where there could have been a master cell, and that it was just something that could diverge into
the thing is
all the life forms that have ever been and all the life forms that'll ever be. I could see something like that.
You're not going to be able to get a tooth forming out of a sponge.
I think it comes down to monkeys and typewriters,
But a sponge or an earthworm are never going to have teeth, and that's because you can place them on the tree of life, and a chicken comes from reptiles, but an earthworm has never been, it's never been a reptile in the past. See what I'm saying? So whether or not, I mean, once we get back to... Go ahead. Sorry.
Right, but do you know... I was just going to say that many of the so-called simpler animals have larger genomes than we do. And it's, for whatever reason, and even in our case, some huge percentage of our genome is just viral junk that we've accumulated over the eons. And, there's, even if you couldn't get a tooth from a worm, there's certainly ways that that we must be shedding traits that we no longer need, and for some reason the tooth just wasn't shed from the chicken. I'm just saying that it looks to me like I say, if you think how profound the problem is this a fire pit or is this just a grass fire and a couple rocks? If you really think about that. And then you think, okay, we've got a book that's the human genome that's that's written in base 4, that's billions of characters, and probably at least 20% of them are probably relevant and have to be pretty much the way they are.